Hey guys, and welcome back to the vlog. Well, today we got a good one. As you guys probably figured out by the thumbnail, this video is gonna start right where my last video, did Kevin help Roy DeMeo dump yet another body, part 2. So, after I helped him get rid of the 1972 Ford LTD and send it into the river, where it still lies to this day, we had a little discussion. I called him out a little bit and then laughed at him because he slipped and fell and was covered in mud. Now let's pick up the story right there. So now we're in Long Island City at the foot of the 59th Street Bridge. And now I got to take this guy back to South Jamaica, which is about maybe 40 minutes ride. So now let me give you a little bit about my background and what really got me into trouble, which was speeding. I was a maniac. And we're going to get into that in another video on how the New York State Legislature tried to enact a bill about me and my 76 speeding tickets. Yeah, 76 speeding tickets. Didn't pay any of them. So I was a maniac, but I also was a great driver. I mean, I'm not trying to say I'm all that in a bag of chips, but when it came to driving, I was it. No cop could catch me. No cop ever caught me. So I get Roy in the passenger seat of my 1969 Dodge Super Bee with a 383 automatic. Well, I mean, it wasn't the fastest car, but it was plenty fast enough. So I get him in the car. Now we're going back. Now I want to show off. Now I want to scare the crap out of him. Mr. Big Mouth, I really didn't like that fucker one bit. And now I got him in the car, and we're heading back. It's 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I go down 21st Street. I make a right on Astoria Boulevard, get on the Grand Central Parkway, and then the terror started for him. And I get in the car, and I'm shooting, going in between cars, 100, 120, 130, like, what? He's crapping in his pants. He is crapping in his pants for the first 5 minutes. Now, I had a half a tank of gas when I left the bridge, and, you know, driving at those speeds, that gas gauge was almost like on empty. So, first 5 minutes, he's got the seatbelt. Now, back then, they had a lap belt, and they had a belt that went around this way. He's got the belt, and he's like hanging on for dear life for the first 5 minutes. Then he tried to get tough. Like, after the first 5 minutes, he got the feel that I knew what I was doing. And he never saw anybody drive the way Kevin Mott did that night. I mean, I was just fucking blasting. So then a couple of times I went, hey, what's the matter? You afraid? Hey, hey, what are you afraid? Of course, he was white. His face was white. His face was, he was scared to death. So then 5 minutes in, he relaxes a little bit and he goes, okay, well, you can really fucking, yeah, that's another thing I may be able to use you for. You're pretty good. And so we're on the Van Wyck, or I don't know what freeway we're on now, because I really never went to South Jamaica. South Jamaica was a ghetto. Who from Queens goes to South Jamaica? So we're driving and we see a brand new Cadillac Eldorado Barrett's convertible, and it was I think it was called it was like a maroon with a white top, white interior, and boy did he love that car. And then Roy notices that it's got Vogue tires on it. Whoa, he wanted that car. He wanted that car. Now, Vogue tires, back then, I think it was a $200 a tire. I mean, it had a thick white wall, then it had a gold wall around it. and it was the shit back then. So I pull up right alongside him. Oh, it's got full tires. I want that. Follow that car. I want you to steal that car from me. I want that car. Pay $500. I says, oh shit, I ain't got enough gas. I don't know where this guy's going. I don't know. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I can't follow the guy. Get the plate number. Can you remember the plate number? Yeah, Copia. And he's got the plate number. I said, don't worry, I'll get it. And he goes, well, how are you going to get it? I says, I got a hook in the police department. And he went, what? And I says, I have a hook in the police department. My friend became a cop while I was in jail. And I didn't tell him his name at that time. His name was John Weiss. And he and I, in a couple of months from then, would get arrested. We both got arrested, me and the cop. So he goes, whoa, whoa. And now he's like panicking. Since when are you friends with? I said, listen, the guy was my friend. We grew up together. And he became a cop when I went to jail. He works in the 34th Precinct in Washington Heights. He's my boy. He'll run that plate, give me the information, and run any other thing that I can run warrants. I can do just anything that a cop can do, my boy can do, and get me the information. And he goes, oh, really? And then he starts calming down. So what I didn't know is that I never mentioned John Weiss to Joey. And of course, Big Mouth did just that. He went right back and he told Joey that I was friends with the cop. So I gave John the plate number. It was in Jericho, Long Island. Came back, the address. It was like an apartment complex. I went there with my tools 2 days later. Popped the car. I even left my car there. I didn't expect to see the car there, but I did. And I popped it, chopped the side of the steering column, threw the rods back, started it up, boom, gave it to him. Gave me $500. Then he went and told Joey how I stole the fucking car. And Joey, I get a call. I want you in my office in the morning, first thing in the morning. So I get there at 8 o'clock. Joey doesn't show up till 11. Who's this fucking cop? Did you tell this cop? And then I tell him, he's my friend. Why didn't you tell me? He keeps saying, why didn't you tell me about your buddy cop? And of course, all the mob guys had a cop under the same exact circumstances. Every mob guy knew somebody in high school that went on to be a cop. After all, back then there were 40,000 New York City cops at that time. So I mean, everybody knew somebody who was a New York City cop. That's not a big deal. But the fact that I didn't tell Joey about it, then I stole a car for him without going through Joey. Holy crap! I didn't know. I mean, he was livid. His face was red. And he goes, what's up with this fucking cop? Why didn't you tell me you knew a cop? And I said, I didn't think it was a big deal. We went to school together. Grandma, I knew the kid. He joined the police academy when I was in jail. I came out, he was a cop. What's the big deal? He's cool as all hell. He does this for me all the time. He goes, why didn't you tell that to me? Why did you tell? And Joey was just so pissed off that I told Roy before I told him about my friend, the cop. And of course, Joey put him to the test, and so did Roy. But now everything, when you work for a connected guy, you know, and these rules I found out as I went along, you got to tell them everything. I didn't even, John's name never even entered my mind. So, but the fact that I popped the car for him, and I didn't go through Joey, that's another, I don't know which one he was more mad at me for. Stealing a car for him and giving it to him without going through him, or not telling him about my friend, the cop. I don't know. But he was really pissed off, and I said, I didn't know, Joey. I didn't know. I apologize. I shouldn't have did this, but I was just trying to show, and what I was really doing, don't forget, I'm 20 years old now. It's 1974. And what I was trying to do is show off to the tough guy, right? I showed off my driving abilities till he was like, I scared him so bad that he was calm. After he saw what I could do with a car, then he was calm and he was going, whoa, this kid's got a talent here, which he utilized. And Joe, I mean, anyway, so I told, I just, what could I do? I mean, I'm in his office, it's me and him, it's early in the morning, he comes in, he's never there that early. And I just said, I'm sorry, I would have never have done anything to piss you off, Joey. I never did and I never will again. I just didn't think it was a big deal. And the way the circumstances happened, I couldn't follow the car. I didn't have enough gas. He got all excited about it. It was $500 bill for me. I didn't, and he's your boy. He's your boy, right? You always telling me he's your boy now, right? He's teaching you the car business. He's your boy. So Joey stayed pissed off at me for about a week or two. I could just tell he was like, it was like almost our friendship was gone, but then it didn't. Then Joey asked me to run a couple of guns, serial numbers on guns, to see if they were stolen, and I did. And actually, John, when you run a car in through it's a database called NCIC, the National Crime Information Center, and when you run the information in, it comes out. Well, back then, the old ones would come out with a sheet of paper like this, even though there was that much information on it. But it was like a foot by 8 inches. Boom, and I would get the whole thing, the whole readout. Stolen, either it went no record, stolen, and if it went stolen, it went what police agency reported it, and what the circumstances were around it, and contact that PD. And one of them was stolen from Chicago. So, but anyway, so once he goes, let me back up. So Joey and Roy, both of them, had cops or had retired cops that they would pay to try to look up confidential informants and things like that. So I thought you guys would find that to be a fascinating story. And then the next video I'm going to do is, I don't know which one I'm going to do, but the next one one of the next ones I'm going to do has to do with me, a stolen car. Remember I had that 69 Super B with a 383? Not for long. I went out and I stole the GTX with a 440, and I was putting it in there. My friend, Mark Pasquale, I remember you, Mark Pasquale, right? You snitched on me and got me arrested and got John Weiss arrested, all in one sweep. I'm going to be telling that story and then what happened to me, and then after that I got violated and went back upstate. So we got plenty of more Roy stories I want to get to, but you know, like you see this, my stories are all over the place. Like I can't tell one story without it going into another one or another one. So please be patient. I'm going to let it go now, and then I'm going to tell you more Roy stories, and Chris, whatever his name, Rosenbaum. We're going to do those. Okay, so I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So I'm going to see you on the next one. Thank you. And by the way, if you haven't already, please push the button, like, share, subscribe, whatever you do. And let's build the channel, because I got a lot of great stories to come. Thank you, and God bless.